concept of the graph of exchange rates. Let's say you got the New Zealand dollar and you got the Great British Pound, GBP, I think, and that's in dollars, and this is in pounds. We know that for every currently around about $2 gets you £1. So if we then move to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we can then go backwards and say, okay, well, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 would be 4. You'd need $6 to get £3, 8, 10, and then $12 to get £6. What you can then do is create a graph of exchange rates. So you got your vertical axis and you got your horizontal axis, and you can switch between the two. You can choose any one to be dollar or pound. So let's say I take this as dollar and I take this as pound. And I know that I've got to go up to 12. So let's say this is 12, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, until 12. And on this side here, we also go till 12, let's say, just so it can seem quite realistic. And we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So from here, I've got 1 and 2, which means that, by the way, this is 2, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4 as well this way. Okay. Okay. Graph the exchange rates of this. What you'll notice is that if you have 1 British pound, which is going to be at the bottom here, which is around there, you're going to have 2 New Zealand dollars. So you can put a dot over there. You have 2, you end up at 4. If you have 3, you end up at 6. And you form this straight line. So this is a straight line all the way through. And then 5 goes till 10. 6 goes all the way till 12. And you can draw a straight line all the way through. And it always starts from the origin, because when you have 0 New Zealand dollars, obviously you'll have 0 pounds. And that would be actually the coordinate of this, which would be 0, 0. And this over here, 0, this will be 1, 2. This would be 2, 4. This would be 3, 6. This would be 4, 8. This would be 5, 10. And this would be 6, 12. And then you can get asked a question. And the question can be something like, let me just highlight that. So the question can be on the lines of, given the following graph, right? Calculate how many pounds you will receive for $12. All right. So then $12, you can see quite clearly it ends up at 6. Let's say they change it up and they make it a big number, like $60. Okay, so they want this to become $60, and they want to know what is the exact pounds. Suppose you did not have this and this was not given and you were just given the graph. In order to get 60, to say we didn't have that part, and the question is given like that, and they want to know what is 60. Now obviously 60 is not on the scale. We can't see it anyway. But what we can do is we can find a multiple of 60, like 10, right? And I know I can see 10 over there. And I can see that 10 got me $10, got me £5. So I know immediately, okay, well, $10 gets me £5. So simply multiply by 6 to get to $60 and multiply by 6 and that'll get you £30. Now this is quite convenient because it's exactly double, but it's never necessarily so convenient. You can have a different scenario where the exchange rate could be something else. Let's say this is the line that was given and you're given several other points. Let's say this is the dollar and this is the yen. I don't actually know what the dollar, New Zealand dollar to the yen is at the moment. Do you know by any chance? All right, let's just have a look at it quickly. It's 84. So 1 New Zealand dollar is going to be the equivalent of 84 yen. All right. So 2 New Zealand dollars will then be 168. 3 New Zealand dollars, etc. will be. Now, I don't have to give you all the points. I just have to give you 1 point. And then from there, you can actually derive the entire table. So I could say that, let's say I gave you the number 10 New Zealand dollars, and it was a point that was given on the graph. It wasn't even on the side. It was actually just a point. And they have the point here 10 and 840. So using this graph now, calculate how much yen you would receive for 4,500 New Zealand dollars. So the question is obviously outside this reach. The first thing you notice is that this is going to be, oh, this is the wrong way around actually, because the x-axis is yen. So let me just swap this around instead of swapping that. So let's say this is the yen because that's there, and this is the New Zealand dollar. So I know that if I've got $10 NZD, it will get me 840 yen, Japanese yen. Let's go ahead and say, okay, if I want to go to there, I've got to multiply it by 45 to get to 450. So 450. So all I've got to do is multiply this by 450 and I'm done. But to do that, I need a calculator. So 840 times 450 comes to 378,000. Yeah. And I've now converted it. Okay. And this is given any graph, any coordinate, always starting from the origin because 0, 0 is also always there. You could also create the graph from this. You could go, well, if that's, you could complete the graph or label it more, and that's 840, then surely if I'm at 5, it'll be half, 420. Then I could divide this by 5 to get to like 1, and then take 420 divided by 5, and it comes to 84. And I could label all of the, if I needed to label the entire graph. Okay.